Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, FD for Sage5.tv, and today I want to cover in this video the role of venture capital in crypto. Value extractors or contributors? That's a key question because I think this cycle has been a great example of value extraction, whether be it through pure rags and scams or through seemingly noble deed or intention, which turned out to be something else. From meme coins launched by politicians and presidents to just your pure rug pull by developers or project teams. That's what I want to cover in this video and give you some examples as well. If you want to know our thoughts on that, which leading projects have been leading the value extraction from each community, the charts, which projects been doing that. If you want to know that, keep watching, guys. But before I proceed, guys, please know that I am not a financial advisor. I'm just some dude on the internet interested in anything crypto, and I also crave to share my knowledge with everyone within the crypto space, share my journey, and provide you educational and entertainment content along the way. And if you're from the UK, guys, this content is not intended for UK consumption or UK audience consumption. Please do your own research before you jump into this space, because you will end up losing all your funds if you're not careful. And you can see what's going on at the moment with certain narratives reached a peak, they collapse, but I think they'll come back again. Here I'm talking of AI and AI agent, not financial advice, of course. So why are VCs in crypto viewed as value extractors by especially retail? Well, let's start with the heavily discounted pre-sales and early access. VCs often get into crypto projects during seed and private rounds at extremely low valuations. We're talking of next to nothing prices. These discounts can be anywhere from 50% to 90% compared to what retail investors will end up paying at the token generation event or TGE. By the time the token hits public market, I'm talking of exchanges such as Binance, Coinbase, and so forth, valuation is often overinflated, leaving retail investors at a disadvantage. So what do VCs actually see the advantage within the markets? How do they view it? I think they look for quick exit strategies. We call them pump and dumps. Once the token goes public, for example, many VCs dump their holdings as soon as the vesting schedule allows. This often results in a sharp decline shortly after launch, while retail investors who enter based on hype suffer massive loss, and exchanges are also at fault on that front. VCs are also well known for narrative manipulation and media influence. Many VCs also control media narratives, pushing narratives that create FOMO or fear of missing out in order to attract retail liquidity, because that's where the money is, right? They use social media partnerships with influencers and crypto media outlets, which they often fund to hype projects up. Once retail liquidity flows in, they dump their bags quietly, no mention, until they get caught out like that guy from Libra, the meme coin launched for or on behalf of the president of Argentina. Poor guy. Next, you got lack of long-term commitment from VCs. Most VCs, there are some who, don't get me wrong, there are some who are in it for the long term, but most of these guys, they are there to make a buck, and no wonder why you end up having people going for meme coins, because they are trying to copy what VCs do, but in a different niche. Unlike traditional equity investors, where VCs must stick with a company for years before cashing out via IPO or acquisition, crypto allows for fast exit. That's why VCs love crypto. Many projects raise funds with the promise of long-term development, but then they fail to deliver because the real goal was never to build, but to cash out. Some projects are often abandoned after VCs extract their profits. Yeah, it's happening. I think that's what projects like ICP suffered from as well. VCs, they went in and still got other projects that will cover its examples later on, where VCs went in and they got their pound of flesh, and those projects, they were left for dead. Some might have recovered, but I don't see any long-term sustainability in those cases. Next, let's look at the poor tokenomics and VC favoritism, because the tokenomics these projects design, they are favoring early investors, seed funders, and project team, of course. Many projects allocate massive percentages of the token supply to early investors, with very little left for community incentives or long-term sustainability. Here on Sage5.tv, one of the tools we use is our DWA or risk evaluation tool. It looks at project insiders token allocation, and is used as a metric that we measure and use for risk management purposes. So poorly designed vesting schedules allow early investors to dump tokens before utility is established, leading to a price collapse. We've seen so many Ethereum layer 2s suffer that fate as well, and some leading projects on Polkadot, they suffered from that heavily. If you wanted a good example of a ghost chain, Polkadot is getting there. Even though the tech is improving and the tech seems to be great, there's just no adoption because no one seems to be bothered about commercialization. Now, let's move on to some of the recent examples of VCs exploiting the crypto market. Let's start with Aptos. I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't hold Aptos, but it's one project I really wanted to hold, but I'm still, especially after their founder left. I believe he left or he was pushed out. I have no idea, but something is fishy and dodgy. Backed by major VCs like A16Z and Multicoin Capital, Aptos had huge pre-sale allocation with long-term retail holders suffering after launch. After launch, price collapsed due to early sell-offs. Next one is Solana. I think that debate is always ongoing. going, isn't it? Solana was backed by the likes of Alameda and FTX and suffered from Alameda and FTX pump and dump at the beginning. FTX and Alameda research had heavy early exposure to SOL and dumped aggressively on retail while hyping the ecosystem. The FTX collapse revealed how heavily manipulated the Solana ecosystem was by VCs. That's on Solana. Tell us what you think or make your own decision. Next, you got ICP, a project we highlighted at the top of the video. Early VC investors exited at extreme valuations. Oh, it was crazy. It went to like $500, $900 or something like that. And it was also some bankman fried, creating phantom tokens or coins to sell on his exchange for ICP. And when he dumped those, that was the end for ICP during the last bull run. ICP's price would see prices crashing from around $750 to $800 all the way to $5 within months. That's huge. Not like Luna collapse, but that was still huge. Retail investors lost over 95% of their value while insiders made billions. ICP. No wonder why not many retail investors are interested in ICP. Because early impressions count, developers, early impressions count, project founders and creators. Don't take your users for granted. And the fourth one that we are going to provide as an example is Arbitrum with this token airdrop controversy. Heavy VC allocations and early sell-offs made many believe the airdrop was just a way to extract liquidity from retail. I got the Arbitrum airdrop and lucky enough I sold when it was still above $1.50. I think that's when I sold mine. I haven't gone back since. It's a project I respect, but I think this insider business and the way, it was just crazy. Because once you raise significant amounts of money from early investors, most likely VCs, they will not give that cash for free. They'll want bottom of the barrel pricing, and they also want to make sure that at launch they get their pound of flesh. Because Arbitrum, they knew for the launch, they knew how to do marketing, and everyone wanted a piece of Arbitrum. Lucky enough, I qualified for the airdrop, and yes, crazy. Now it's sitting at around 40 cents. Would you believe it? I think it dropped below that as well. So yeah, but VCs got their pound of flesh. So what can be done to reduce VC exploitation within the crypto space? Well, regulations obviously, but let's start with better tokenomics and vesting schedule. I think the ecosystem need to ensure that there is a standard for longer vesting schedules for VCs. For example, 5 to 10 years instead of the 6 to 12 months for VCs. I don't think if they are here for the long term and they believe in the project, why go for under a year investing schedule? Limit huge pre-sale discounts to prevent early dump. Greater transparency on fundraising. For example, projects should be fully transparent about how many tokens are being allocated to VCs versus the community, because not all that information is available. It's always hidden in secret or some opaque categories. I always find that weird. Or have a bunch of significant amount of tokens unlocked but not being tracked. What are they being used for? You know what I mean? That just leaves a sour taste. Some projects now use on-chain data to show funding rounds and token unlocks. Decentralized fundraising models, that could be a way as well. Move away from VC-dominated private sales and encourage community-driven funding. For example, DAOs, fair launches, public auctions, and so forth. Examples, you got Bitcoin, which had no pre-mine. Fair launches such as Radiant Capital, avoid VC overreach. More retail-friendly launch mechanisms. For example, projects that implement vesting for retail too, preventing early whales from dumping on newcomers. More ideals, initial DEX offerings or airdrops rather than heavy VC allocations. That could be a way up. My final thoughts on VC exploitation within the crypto markets. I do believe that the backlash against VCs in crypto is growing because they operate differently from traditional markets, where long-term growth matters, and instead of fostering true adoption, many VCs in the crypto space appear to focus on short-term profit extraction, leaving retail investors with heavy loss. We've seen that with so many Ethereum layer 2s. They marketed their projects, benefited from the liquidity flowing into their ecosystem and being logged, but then those people did not stay, they just left. And some of those projects, I can't see them coming back because Ethereum itself is suffering, and even if it comes back stronger, Ethereum that is, not all layer 2s will survive this. Some of them will probably start their slow decline from now on until the bear market, where they'll just die off. Those are just my final thoughts. So in crypto, if we fully and truly want to be decentralized and fair, the industry must shift away from over-reliance on VCs and develop a community-driven funding models. Otherwise, it will continue to be a zero-sum game where retail investors always lose. What I want to know, guys, is do you value VCs? I think there is a place for them, but not the lion's share that they are enjoying at the moment. It needs to be restricted somehow. Maybe regulations will be the way to go. I'll be interested in knowing what you guys think about the behavior of VCs within the crypto space. Is it all about them being good contributors, or, like I've been trying to highlight in this video, they are extreme value extractors? Let us know in the comment section, guys. Until the next one, this is FD for 65.tv signing out for now. Bye.